What's going on, traders? Welcome to this week's Forex Forecast. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to check out the Patreon or the YouTube membership for my daily chart analysis. I hope to see you there. All right, starting things off with the US dollar. The cut report shows last week that the banks added 3,600 longs and they also added 1,895 short positions. And if you do want this lifetime access to this cut report spreadsheet that I have, links are in the description to the Patreon. You can get it there. So looking at the US dollar here, still looking very strong in the US dollar. We have broken supply zones consistently. If you just look at my 4-chart layout here, it's very clear the US dollar is just on a tear right now. In the past couple forecasts, I've talked about how we could see price pull back to this weekly area of demand, but I have seen no evidence that is going to take place just yet. The evidence we would need for that to happen would be for something like this to take place, where we remove this upward trend line and demand zone. So currently just waiting for that to take place before even thinking about shorting the US dollar. So I would just continue to trade the US dollar long until otherwise. And if we do get that dip buying opportunity here, then that's great. And that would be basically a dip buying opportunity coming off of weekly demand and a weekly uptrend. So I would just continue to trade long with the US dollar. All right, looking at EURUSD, and in last week's forecast, I talked about how it would be definitely best to wait for this area of 1 hour demand to be removed first before looking for short positions. And that just shows the accuracy of supply and demand trading in general. As you can see here, we saw a huge reaction from this 1 hour supply a couple times. So that is why it is always best to wait for opposing zones to be removed before getting in short. And just like I predicted, there was a 1 hour supply zone here that was formed right exactly where I expected it to be. And unfortunately, we didn't get that pullback to that zone, but that's all good. There will be plenty of opportunities. Now looking at the cut report for the EURUSD, past week the banks added 19,781 long positions, and they also got rid of 3,100 short positions. Looking at a daily chart here, if you do want to get in long, my recommended target would be around 1.04934. Short, my recommended target would be 1.021. Now, I don't really recommend shorting the euro based on this a lot of pressure to the downside on the weekly and the daily chart. So I would only recommend looking for short positions. Remember, nothing is financial advice. I'm just saying what I would be doing. So if we come to a 4-hour chart here, we have 4-hour supply right here. This move away is not incredible at all, but we are reacting off of this supply. So you could be hopping down to a 15-minute chart and looking for confirmation. Why don't we hop down to that 15-minute chart and see what we can see? So if I come to a 15-minute chart here, I'm not seeing too much so far. There wasn't really any significant confirmation at all. The only thing I would suggest is, maybe if this little 15-minute supply is removed, demand is removed, maybe that's your 15-minute confirmation to hop in short. Other than that, I just don't really see too many nice trading setups. Obviously, there's this 4-hour zone, and then there's a 4-hour zone right above it. But the problem with this zone is that if price does come up to here, it'll be reacting off of this trend line or above the trend line. So I don't really like to take trades like that. I don't really recommend doing that. So other than that, we can see, if you come to a 1-hour chart, we have a 1-hour supply zone right here as well. And you could be looking for 5-minute confirmation coming off of this zone. You could also maybe wait for 5-minute confirmation off of this 1-hour supply zone if we even get that push back up to here. But overall, the euro is looking very weak, and I would just continue to trade with this weekly, daily, and 4-hour downtrend until otherwise. And if you're looking to get in long, it's fine. I understand that price is very overextended to the downside. So the only way I'd be getting in long, at minimum, I would have to see this take place, leaving us with 2 supply zones removed, this downward trend line removed, and giving us a 4-hour uptrend. Then I could say maybe you could start to day trade the lower time frames to the upside. But until then, I would just continue to trade to the short side with the weekly, daily, and 4-hour downtrend. All right, on to gold forecast. And really quick, I just wanted to show you guys a trade that I took in gold. And in last week's forecast, I talked about how we wanted to see this 4-hour demand removed first before hopping in short, and I did exactly that. We had a candle close below it, and we had a nice supply zone above. So it's a little bit of a weird trade. I did not wait for the pullback. I simply entered here with my stop loss above here, and I took profit. It was somewhere down here. It was just 2 to 1. I just simply got out at 2 to 1. So I just wanted to show you guys that little trade that I took. And remember, if you guys want to get all of these zones on a daily basis, check out the YouTube or Patreon membership. It's only $5 CAD per month, and there's other tiers as well. You can get my charts updated daily. You can get all of these zones, and it could certainly help you out with your trading. There's a lot of members, and they're getting a lot of information from these zones that I am producing. And part of the reason I did take that trade is because I talked to you guys about how there was clear profit margin all the way down to this weekly area of demand right here. So I just simply was trading from basically up here to down here, and I only ended up getting a 2 to 1, but that's all good. There was profit margins, so I saw an opportunity and I took it. So looking at the call reports for gold, the past week the banks got rid of 4,400 longs and they added 1,300 short positions. If you do want to get in short on gold, I would target right at 1787 or maybe a little bit after or before. To the long side, I wouldn't really recommend getting in long right now, but you could target maybe 1830, maybe higher. I'm not really sure on gold, but on gold, we have a daily downtrend that's extremely strong, but like I just pointed out, we are contacting this weekly area of demand again. Yes, it is tested, it is used up, but we could definitely see some sort of reaction off of this zone like that and maybe break through on gold. But as far as setups go now, I'm not really seeing too much except for this 4-hour area of supply. Now, if you do want to get in short at this supply zone right here, I would definitely recommend looking for 15-minute confirmation, and that's it. I don't really recommend taking this as a set and forget trade. So if anything, you could just be looking for a 15-minute confirmation coming off of this supply zone. You could easily target that 1787 target I was talking to you guys about, or even lower. So that's pretty much all I see here on gold. And what that trade would be is essentially just a daily downtrend, 4-hour downtrend, taking a short trade based on those trends. But like I said, maybe use half risk or use caution based on the fact that we are sitting inside weekly demand on gold. USDJPY forecast. The past week, the banks added 2,200 long positions and they got rid of 7,389 short positions. If you look here, we are reacting off of daily demand. So daily demand is in control in a daily uptrend and weekly uptrend situation. So this is a decent little dip buying opportunity. If you do want to get in long, you can target right about here at about 132.093. Short, which I do not recommend right now at all, but if you do want to get in short, I would look to take profits basically as soon as possible. So we are coming off of daily demand, meaning buyers are in control, and a weekly uptrend as well. This pair is extremely strong. So you could be looking for 1-hour confirmation coming off of that daily demand. What that's going to look like here on the 1-hour chart is something like this, where we get a nice explosive move up, removing this 1-hour supply zone, leaving us with hopefully a 1-hour demand zone here to look to get involved to the long side in. And remember, if you do want the zone that produces this trade signal, then definitely check out the Patreon and YouTube membership that I just mentioned, because you will be getting those zones. So that would be the confirmation trade I would be looking for on USD Yen. So that is basically the only setup that I see possible here on USDJPY. Now, yes, we are overextended, so it is a little risky. Could we pull back to this weekly area of demand? For sure. But the evidence we will need to see if that is going to take place is actually at this daily area of demand. So if this daily demand does get removed, somewhat cleanly like this, then I think, we're headed much lower down to that weekly area of demand. And essentially what that is it's just a retracement to a higher time frame area of demand. So if that takes place, we'll have a great dip buying opportunity. That won't happen for, maybe months, but, as of now, the only setup I see is that possible confirmation trade coming off of that daily demand on USDJPY. All right, GBPUSD forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 4,000 longs and they added 1,718 short positions. Clear daily downtrend here in the pound still. If you do want to get in short, I would target about 1.2. To the long side, I would target about 1.24 right before this daily area of demand. Now, first things first, this daily area of demand will be a great shorting opportunity on a 1-hour confirmation coming off of there if we do get that. So that is one setup I see here on the pound. If we do get that pullback, that would be a great possible zone to look for confirmation. And remember, if you don't know what confirmation is, check out my trading tips playlist. You'll definitely get a lot of knowledge from that. But it's very clear we have a very nice weekly downtrend here on the pound. So I would just continue to trade with that downtrend. Coming to a 4-hour chart, we had a little mini 4-hour supply zone here. So you could have looked for 15-minute confirmation on here, but it's looking pretty weak. I think we could actually explode up from here. Now, I don't want to be getting in long and trading against those trends, but if we do get that, we'll have decent little 4-hour supply zones up here to look to trade to the short side. Or like I said, that daily area of supply to look to trade in short. There is a 1-hour supply zone right here, but what I do not like about this supply zone is the fact that this trend has kind of died out right here. If I draw this like this, we're kind of just going sideways now. So if price does come up to here, there's no more 1-hour trend that is in play. So I'm not a huge fan of taking that. And it'll be right around this downward trend line, and there could be a lot of spikes. There could be a lot of liquidity searches around that area. So I don't really recommend looking to get involved in that area. But if you do, 5-minute confirmation is certainly needed if you are feeling like getting in short in that 1-hour area of supply. All right, on to USDCAD. The past week, the banks added 8,445 long positions, and they got rid of 5,991 short positions. The USDCAD is looking pretty bullish right now, in my opinion. If you do want to get in long, I would target about 1.31. Short, I would target about 1.286, around there. If you come to a 4-hour chart, if you come to a weekly chart first, we actually have a weekly uptrend now. So I would actually be trading with that weekly uptrend. Yes, I understand that weekly supply has just been contacted and is in play. So it is a little risky to be getting in long, but what's stronger than a weekly supply zone? A weekly uptrend, in my opinion. So we could actually see that just blow right through. So now let's look for a few setups. The only thing I'm seeing right now is this 4-hour area of demand, and this was a 4-hour demand zone that members could have been taking confirmation trades off of right here. If you are a member and you did get involved, just let me know. So now this area is tested and is used up, but what I don't mind about this area is that it's only a quick wick in. If you see, price didn't spend a whole lot of time in the zone. So this zone it's not a fresh demand zone, but we could see a move up from here, or even just come down to this zone and move up. So I do not mind if you guys are looking for confirmation in this whole area right here, or sorry, let me tighten that up right there. So let me just redo that so you guys can understand. I do not mind if you're looking for confirmation in this zone or in this zone, or even in between. I think looking for 15-minute confirmation there is completely fine, based on the fact that we have a 4-hour uptrend, a weekly uptrend, and daily demand is in control. So I think the USDCAD is looking very bullish right now, and there could be a decent little day trading setup coming off of that 4-hour area of demand. AUDUSD, the Aussie dollar forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 10,000 long positions, and they added 3,072 short positions. If you do want to get in short, I would target 0.67. Long, I would target right around before this daily area of supply at about 0.70. Now, we do have a weekly downtrend now, so if price does come up to this daily area of supply, that'll be a decent area to look for 1-hour confirmation to the short side coming off of that zone. And if we do look at the weekly chart, like I just said, we do have a weekly downtrend here on the Aussie, so this pair is actually looking pretty decent to trade to the short side. The only setup I see right here, right now, is this 4-hour area of supply. So you could be hopping down to a 15-minute chart looking for confirmation. Now, I haven't looked at the 15-minute chart yet, but let's hop down. I don't mind hopping down to the lower time frames for you guys. So if you guys want to copy my trend line, that's completely fine. I would copy this trend line on your chart, and I would wait for this to be removed. So your confirmation coming off of this whole 4-hour area of supply right here would be the removal of this upward trend line. So if something like this takes place, leaving us with a 15-minute supply zone, that would be your confirmation trade to get in short. So hopefully that takes place. Like I said, copy this trend line that I just drew. It's pretty simple. And it's a very nice trend line. Confirmation coming off of there would be very significant, and your targets could be very low. It could potentially set up for a very high risk to reward trading setup. So hopefully that takes place. And what that trade would be is essentially, it would be a weekly downtrend, 4-hour downtrend into 4-hour supply with 15-minute confirmation for that extra confidence that the trade is going to work out. So I think it's looking for very decent for a potential short setup here to continue trading with that trend. And if, like I said, If the trade doesn't work out, or you don't get the confirmation, or you lose the trade, which is going to happen sometimes, guys, you cannot ever have a 100% win rate. Well, that's all good because price will be coming up to this daily area of supply where we can look to get an even better entry where we can take a short trade. So it's kind of a win-win situation here where a lot of setups are probably going to occur. All right, we got two more left. USD Swiss. The past week, the banks added 2,200 long positions and they added 370 short positions. If you do want to get in long, I would target about 1.013, I think that is. If you want to get in short, I would target about 0.99. I don't know if you guys have this problem here. If you see all of this here, I don't know what's going on where it's all black. So I do apologize for that. But this is actually a pair that's looking very, very decent. Yes, we are completely overextended on the weekly chart, but I would just continue to trade with that trend. That's all I would recommend. So there's a few setups here that I see. If you come and look at this 1 hour chart, you could have been looking for a 5-minute confirmation coming off of this chart. We kind of had the removal of this downward trend line here, but if you notice, there wasn't really a very clean zone to look for a trade off of. So now I would disregard the 1 hour chart, and what I would actually wait for is for this 4 hour demand to be contacted. And what this trade would be, the idea of this trade would be is that we have a weekly uptrend, daily uptrend, 4 hour uptrend, and you could be looking for 15-minute confirmation coming off of this 4 hour area of demand. So that's a decent little pullback if we can get the pullback down to here. If not, you could just be looking for set and forget trades as soon as we make a new high on this 1 hour chart. So if we do make a new high up here, then I think looking for set and forget trades on a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart will be pretty decent. If you don't know what set and forget trading is, like I said earlier, check out my trading tips playlist, links in the description. I have a bunch of videos on this kind of stuff, and it can certainly help you out and kind of get the idea of what I'm referring to in these forecasts. So this pair is looking great. I would just be waiting for a 4 hour pullback to that 4 hour demand where I would be looking to get involved to the long side. All right, last but not least, one of my favorite markets, crude oil. The past week, the banks got rid of 4,500 longs and they added 6,300 short positions. Looking at the daily chart here, if you do want to get in long, I've been talking about this for a week. We're just simply sitting between demand and supply right now. So you could just target this supply zone to the long side, and I would target this demand zone to the short side. But it's very important to know that that demand is in control on the daily chart, although weekly supply is in control. We do have a 1 hour uptrend, so you could be set and forget trading a 5-minute chart to the upside like that. I think that would be completely fine. Or I did notice a little 4 hours demand zone right here. Now, this demand zone is not extremely high odds, but you could look for 15-minute confirmation coming off of here with the idea that there's a lot of profit margin to the upside to that daily area of supply. So that's pretty much all I would recommend doing here on crude oil. If we do get a nice push up, basically, removing this high, then we will have a 4 hour uptrend. And then you can start to set and forget, get a 15-minute chart, and then this trade becomes higher odds. So it might be best to just wait for a little bit of a higher push up before getting involved, but I don't think that there's anything wrong looking for a 15-minute confirmation coming off of this zone based on the idea that the low is in that demand is in play down here, and we have profit margin to the next supply zone. So oil looking pretty decent, although it's not one of my favorite pairs to be trading this week. I think other pairs are offering better setups, but this one's definitely looking somewhat decent if you're just looking to play, like I said, that range between demand and supply. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there and hope to see you in the next video.